What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here to talk about some upcoming UFC fights that I am like 99% sure I know who's gonna win already. The reason I'm making this video is because we're near the end of the year and we basically know every single fight happening for the rest of 2025. And some of these, they're fucking bangers. It's hard to predict. I'm gonna be fence sitting them pretty hard. They're 50-50 matchups. Some of these fights, come on, bro. We already know what's going to happen. And as the best predictor on YouTube, I want to let you guys know what fights I feel like I'm 99% certain I know the outcome. We're going to be going through every card coming up, talking about some of these fights. Let's get into this. First one to discuss, Muslim Salikhov versus Uros Medic. Pretty crafty fucking pick by me starting off, dude. Pretty crafty pick. I'm going to be talking about some big fights, some smaller fights. This is the first one I want to discuss. Muslim Salikhov versus Uros Medic. Muslim Salikhov's winning this fight by knockout, dude. I'm like, bro, I'm the fucking expert on unranked welterweight NPCs. For whatever reason, this has always been my favorite division. I basically know every single unranked welterweight that's fought in the Apex, that's on a decent run, that's on, you know what I mean? I love this fucking division, okay? And I feel like Muslim Salikhov very easily wins this fight by knockout. I think he chins Uros Medic in the first round. Okay, Medic basically gets caught and rocked every single fight. Even at 155, that was a problem for him. And Muslim Salikhov now being there for him at welterweight, he's extremely powerful. He's extremely slick with his striking. Even at this age, bro's literally fucking pushing 50. But he's still knocking people out bad. I still picked this guy to beat Carlos Leal. You guys called me crazy. You guys called me a madman. A lot of you guys wanted to know what I would have said if Muslim Salikhov didn't sleep Carlos Leal, the roid monster, out cold. I guess we'll never know, okay? I got away with the crafty Salikhov pick last time. I'm going to continue that trend. I think that he KOs Uros Medic pretty easily in the first round with a big right hand or with a big like spinny kick or some shit like that. Yeah, I think he wins that fight by knockout, all right? Next one to talk about, we move on to UFC 322. Look at that fucking main event, dude. I'm getting butterflies just looking at that shit, man. I'm getting excited just thinking about it, dude. I can't wait to watch JDM cook. And we're going to go over here to the early prelims because this Burger Suzakayev guy, bro, Eric Mechanico, he's not winning this shit, okay? I'm picking Baisengar Suzakayev confidently. On my soul, on everyone's soul watching this video, he is winning this shit. He's literally got the Chimaev teammate plot armor, that's number one. He's got the Contender Series Glaze plot armor, that's number two. And I mean, come on, mate. Come on, dude. Who is genuinely picking Eric Mechanico to win this fight, dude? Nobody, bro. Don't know, man. He beat fucking Cody Brown. Like, dude, let's just say it like it is. This is Eric Mechanico being fed to Baisengar Suzakayev. They're going to continue to build this guy up. Like I said, he's Chimaev's teammate. He had the crazy storyline of fighting on Contender Series, immediately getting thrown on the pay-per-view. And I think he will be able to get takedowns basically whenever he wants. I think that on the feet, one thing I like about the... Hold on, my cat is fucking... All right, bro. All right, man. All right, chill, dude. Don't do a circle. Just walk out. All right, thank you, bro. Goodbye. Okay, I'm going to edit that part out. Oh. All right, let's get back into this, man. I'm gonna edit that part out. Hold on, low-key, yeah, I'll edit that out. All right, let's get back into this. But Suzakayev can basically get takedowns whenever he wants. That's what I'm here to say. I do like this guy though because he does train with Chimaev. He's undefeated. He's coming off a submission victory. He's very, very dangerous, but he's not this Chimaev type fighter in terms of his attitude and his personality. He's not immediately out there hugging the nuts and just diving for legs straight away. And you know, that was something so entertaining about Chimaev on the rise, was he just did not strike at all. He just completely spammed takedowns, got you down. You wanted to see if anybody could stop it. Suzakayev actually enjoys fucking around on the feet. He's willing to stand and trade and mess around. But I think he's doing that because he's fighting these NPCs. And I think he will be winning this fight pretty easily against a guy without any lighter man skill. His first fight against Eric Nolan, that was a guy coming up from 170 that proved to be pretty solid on the feet, actually rocked Suzakayev. I don't think any of that shit's going to happen here. I think this guy is literally just going to go out there and destroy Eric Mechanico. And I'm not liking the fact that he's the same age as me. I just peeped that. I don't like that this guy's the same age as me. I kind of hope he loses now. All right, let's move on to the next fight to talk about. And you see the thumbnail, you know what I'm about to say. Armin Tsarukyan is winning this fight. I'm willing to just go out on a limb and say I'm 99% sure he's winning this fight. You will not catch me fence sitting this. You will not catch me picking Armin Tsarukyan by split robbery decision. I think he's actually going to TKO Dan Hooker, dude. And listen, I like Dan Hooker. I like all the Australian, New Zealand guys. I feel like I need to say that before they send fucking Blood Diamond to come get me or some shit. You know what I mean? I already ran into the GOAT. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell that story, but I just have to say it like it is. Armin Tsarukyan is going to win this fight. I feel like anyone that's trying to like, oh, dude, Dan Hooker, mate, Dan Hooker's going to go out there, G, he's going to knock him out, G, yeah, I swear, G. I'm sorry, bro. Armin Tsarukyan's winning this fight. When it comes to, it's like Dan Hooker, Dan Bilzerian, Danny Phantom, don't matter. Armin in 5, okay? I'm feeling a TKO win, like I said, because Hooker kind of, I can see Dan Hooker kind of neglecting the striking of Armin Tsarukyan and just fucking around a little bit on the feet. Just looking for his front kicks, just kind of smiling at him, trying to mess with him, you know, not really showing him that respect on the feet, and kind of underrating the boxing of Armin Tsarukyan and heavily focusing on defending the grappling, and I think he may show some solid takedown defense early on, threaten the guillotine, but I think on the feet he's going to be surprised by Armin Tsarukyan, because Armin Tsarukyan, yes, he has zesty shadow boxing, I don't care. He still kind of has some pop. He still kind of has some power. He chinned Beneil Dariush. He's got some TKO wins in the UFC. He was low-key boxing up Charles Oliveira, survived some pretty big shots from him as well. And I feel like when it comes to the reaction time of Dan Hooker and the speed of Dan Hooker on the feet, he has slowed down. Like the Dustin Poirier fight, not to mention the fact Poirier you're gonna fight Gaethje next? You gonna fight Conor next? Yeah. This is my house, dude. Stay in your fucking lane, kid. Don't count them chickens down. You know, war with Poirier, salty man Poirier, finished by Islam Makhachev on short notice. And then, you know, TKO'd by Arnold Allen, went down to featherweight again, got TKO'd immediately. Really, really bad for the durability and the speed of Dan Hooker. You just feel like he's a little bit slower. He's not reading things as well. Took a lot of damage against Jalen Turner, won that fight. Took a lot of damage against fucking Mateus Gamrot. Arguably should have lost that fight, but got the win on the scorecards, and has been holding on to the ranking ever since. A lot of injuries, you know, a lot of damage on Dan Hooker. I just feel like Armin Tsarukyan's going to be quicker. I feel like he's going to be very underrated on the feet. He actually has a very solid jab, good right hand. He throws good strikes on the break of clinches and things like that. And I feel like he can get his double leg going basically whenever he wants. We've seen Dan Hooker get ran over with the double leg by Islam Makhachev. Basically, his first attempt, it was over. And I feel like Mateus Gamrot got takedowns pretty easily early on. And Armin Tsarukyan is not going to wait to get dropped and then wrestle. He's going to wrestle and then look to land big shots and then wrestle again. So I think Armin Tsarukyan, with the zesty boxing, could potentially crack Dan Hooker on the feet, pause. Or more likely, kind of piece him up a little bit with the jab and then get the takedowns going. And I really feel like what's going to happen is Armin Tsarukyan's going to start landing his elbows in the guard, which he does so fucking well. I glaze these fucking elbows. Every time I talk about this guy, I talk about his fucking elbows because they are so dangerous. He literally cut Charles Oliveira so bad as soon as he started landing them. He finished Joel Alvarez with them, finished Joaquin Silva with them. And I feel like Armin Tsarukyan, once he takes down Dan Hooker and gets in the guard, he's going to be dropping elbows over the top, cutting Dan Hooker, damaging and swelling the eyes. And I think we're going to see an Armin Tsarukyan ground and pound TKO inside 3 rounds. I'm very confident that Armin Tsarukyan wins this fight. A lot more confident than I am in basically any other outcome of these fights. Like, this is a fucking generational fight. And I literally cannot wait to watch this shit. I will actually be waking up at 4 a.m. to watch this because these are fucking bangers. But the only fight I'm like 100%, I know my pick. It is Armin Tsarukyan beating Dan Hooker, all right? Let's move on to UFC 323. And the first one that I want to talk about, it is Merab versus... Hey, guys, I can't believe Bedtime saying something nice about me, guys. I'm so happy, guys. And one thing, guys, and I just want to say, guys, I'm very happy for this fight. Merab's winning this fight, dude. Okay, I know that the fucking agendas are gonna start. And the thing about these fights, I feel like you agreed with me on the first 2. Most of you will agree with me on the third one. Maybe there's a couple of Kiwi cat. Bro, you picked fucking Reyes to beat Oberg, G. Don't know what you're talking about, G. Dan Hooker by knockout, right? But most logical people are agreeing with me on those 3. I know that some of you, and listen, I'm not claiming innocent, okay? I've been guilty of believing in fighters in fights that I just knew deep down they weren't gonna win. Okay, I've picked Brian Ortega more times than I'm willing to admit, knowing he was going to lose. Okay, because I ride or die with T-City Brian Ortega, the Eagle. All right, I picked Robert Whittaker against Rainier Dorita, worrying he was going to lose that fight. I don't give a fuck. All right, I get it. But the Jan sexuals picking this guy to beat Merab in a rematch when he got 50-45. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it. I picked Merab the first time. I'm a fucking genius. I'm picking him in the second fight. And you know what's sad, dude? You know what's sad? Because I love Petr Yan and I don't want to come across as a hater. But the people that were hating on the O'Malley fans, and rightfully so, for picking him in the first fight and then watching him lose and then just picking him again in the rematch, I didn't make that mistake, right? I learned from past mistakes. But people genuinely, they were laughing at the O'Malley fans. But then here they are now. Dude, Jan's going to change it up in the rematch, bro. Dude, Jan's going to fucking change it up in the rematch, dude. Jan's going to be coming out there at Southpaw, bro. It's going to be different, dude. I'm sorry, man. I like Petr Yan. I'm interested to see what changes. He's not winning this fight. I cannot buy into the Yan agenda as if he didn't get 50-45 and completely fucking mogged and broken in the first fight. I know that he defended a majority of the takedowns. It didn't do anything. He still got pieced up on the feet. He still got out damaged. He still got bullied around physically because he has basically the frame of a bulked up flyweight. Like, he has put on a little bit of muscle and size, and that is good to see. And he has utilized grappling a little bit more offensively in his fights, and I think that's interesting going into this fight. I want to see Yan do well, but I don't think he's going to win this fight. He has great defense on the feet. Takedown defense is great, but I think the aggression and shit like that of Merab, like just how aggressive he is, how much he pushes the pace, just the blockhead blitz of Merab is going to make Yan, you know, when he's downloading data, just even more like defensive, just even more shelled up, just waiting for way too fucking long. I don't think Jan's going to have enough moments in this fight to win this fight. I think he'll have some moments like Corey Sandhagen, like Sean O'Malley, right? Like Henry Cejudo. Every other guy that's fought Merab, they always have a moment or two. Or, you know, here and there, they'll have Umar will have a couple of moments. But not enough to win the fight by decision. And I don't think Yan finishes Merab. He's not really a finisher. He rocks people, but he doesn't really finish people. So I feel like he's going to get bullied around physically. I think Yan is going to, you know, show good takedown defense, good cardio, good striking defense, land some good shots. But I think that Merab's pressure and aggression is going to make Yan a lot more defensive and just waiting and put him on the back foot, put him behind on the numbers, put him behind on the scorecards. And I feel like Merab has also improved from that first fight. I know Yan has bulked up, like I said, and improved a little bit here and there, but he didn't have to change that much. He was already really good early on. Merab is actually improving from fight to fight, and I don't know what it is. Bro's developing fucking skills at 34 years old, but you just have to say it like it is. He's gotten better at striking. He's now able to outstrike a Sean O'Malley a little bit on the feet. He's able to rock Corey Sandhagen, pressure him, not be scared to strike with him, mix in his wrestling a lot more smartly. He gets a little bit less resistance on his takedowns now because he times them a little bit better instead of just spamming high volume takedowns. He still spams takedowns, but just not as crazily as he did against Petr Yan and Jose Aldo and all these guys. He has kind of dropped the output a little bit and times them a little bit better. And he's even chasing more submissions from the front headlock, which I also think is going to be a factor in this matchup. I can see him getting Yan down and like off a single leg and then cradling him and looking for that front headlock. I can see Yan trying to wrestle up from being sat down from the single leg and Merab's just holding the front headlock, kind of looking around, smiling, you know, punching him and all this stuff. I think that he's going to be able to use these wrestling positions to fatigue Petr Yan because he's already defensive, worried about the pressure. And I think he's going to show those improvements on the feet as well. I think he's going to be landing the calf kicks again, which were damaging Yan in that first fight. Landing the right hand as well. We saw him hurt Sandhagen with that shit. And yeah, I just feel like the blockhead striking improvements, the pressure, the wrestling, it's always going to be a hard fight for Petr Yan, but I'm like 99% sure Merab wins this rematch. I feel like the only people that I can see beating Merab anytime soon is like if Umar comes back with an improved cardio, which we still don't know. We still don't know if he can actually go 5 rounds. He seemed tired after the Batista fight. So even that is kind of a, you know, we don't know. Or someone just catches Merab at the right time. Like he turns 35 and he loses all his skills. I don't know, but I think he's winning this fight pretty confidently. Yeah, I'm not going to be gaslit into picking Petr Yan in this fight when he got 50-45 in the first one. And the last fight that I really want to discuss as I'm 99% sure I know the outcome of this fight. And I'm a little bit disappointed in the UFC by this matchmaking, but I get it, dude. Edson Barboza, brother. Your time has come. There's no way out. Why are they doing this to Edson Barboza, man? Why are they putting Edson Barboza in there with fucking Jalen Turner coming off the layoff, man? Why, dude? Because I feel like Edson Barboza, first and foremost, he should still be at featherweight. And the fact that he can't go back down to featherweight is a big concern for me, because I think we can all agree he looked really good at 145. I think physically he fit in really well at 145. I think he was always a little bit undersized and kind of mogged physically at 155, especially by grapplers. And just, you know, the power on the feet as well. We just saw him get damaged so much. Whereas at 145, he seemed a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more snappy until he turned like 38, 39. Then he started to slow down a little bit, look a little bit jittery and tired on the feet. And I don't like this matchup. This is the bedtime FC ass matchup if I want to bring Jalen Turner back. Just some random generated shit at lightweight. And I think Jalen Turner is going to finish Edson Barboza inside 2 rounds. I think this is like a Vicente Luque versus Joel Alvarez type matchup, where it's like, all right, Edson Barboza, for all your years of service being one of the most entertaining lightweights, we're going to give you Jalen Turner with 100% finish rate. Goodbye, brother. That's just it, dude. I think Turner will come in locked in, sharp, not overthinking as much because of the time off. I think the time off will be a good thing for him. He'll come back in just excited to fight again, enjoying fight week. I guarantee you, when I make the bingo card, I'm going to mention this, but I guarantee you, we will be seeing Jalen Turner in every single interview talking about how this is the best camp he's ever had. He feels amazing. He loves fighting again. He fell back in love with the game, all this stuff. And I think he's going to come back in with a finish, dude. And you know what's crazy too? This is another random prediction. I could see Jalen Turner missing weight for this somehow. Jalen Turner misses weight every single 155 fight now, basically. And I can randomly see, like, can you guys agree? I feel like there's a timeline where Jalen Turner has all this time off to come back and still misses weight for 155. I can definitely see this ending up being a catch weight, and he just finishes Edson Barboza and nobody brings it up again. I'm going to say Jalen Turner, I'm 99% sure he wins this fight by submission. I could definitely see him KOing Barboza, but I'm going to say he drops him and then latches up a submission, gets the finish. Crowd goes crazy. People are back on the Jalen Turner title run. People forget, man. I was making videos saying this guy was going to be the next champion, dude. So I can definitely, and I know I wasn't the only one, so I can definitely see Jalen Turner finishing this fight and people being like, bro, Jalen Turner's back. He motivated Jalen Turner, dude. The title run starts now. But realistically, man, I'm pretty confident in this because this is Jalen Turner in his physical prime still, coming off a submission loss, not a knockout, not a bad, you know, a bad performance. Like, he did put his head in the fucking triangle. I'm not forgetting that. I picked you to beat Bahamondes. You fucking sold. A lot of people had you on their parlay as well. I'm not forgetting that shit. But what I'm saying is he didn't take a lot of damage in that fight. He quit because of the mental game and just needing some time off to recover. And that's totally understandable. So coming back physically in his prime with a mental, like, you know, refresh and being motivated again, I definitely feel like he's going to finish the old man Edson Barboza, who, like I said, you can't go back down to 145. That's a bad look, considering that is the much better weight class for you physically. And this is just Edson Barboza, just old, damaged. Every single fight, he slows down basically as soon as the first round's over. He's fucking jittering around the octagon. You know, I just don't like this fight for Edson Barboza. I think this is a pretty obvious Jalen Turner win. But yeah, there's so many great fights coming up before the end of the year. These are the ones that I'm like 99% sure I know the outcome. Obviously, I'm not going to mention easy ones. You know, I could have easily stat padded this video talking about JDM was going to sleep Islam. We all know that's going to happen, you know. Same with Carlos Prates sleeping Leon Edwards. We all know these are going to happen. I wanted to go with some more in-depth, you know, hardcore predictions here, but let me know in the comments down below, what fights are you 99% confident in going into the end of the year? What fights are you looking forward to? What fights do you think I'm right about, wrong about? Let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA. We got some crazy big stuff coming up in the chat. That's all I can say. I can't say, brother, I cannot speak in this. I'm in big trouble, bud. We have some very, very big things coming up for the channel. I'm talking collabs. I'm talking fucking, you know, things that are on lock that we can't really discuss. But some big things are coming up for the channel. Stay tuned for all of that. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And I will see you guys in the next video. I'll be doing a very in-depth breakdown. I've been watching tape. I've been saving videos. I'm doing an in-depth breakdown of JDM versus Islam. Stay tuned for that video. We'll also be doing another tier list this week. I've seen the comments. I'm bringing back the tier list. Stay tuned for those. I'll see you in the next video, boys. Goodbye.